we are here with Unity.
What's up? What's up?
This dude who is a prolific voice within, the Namibian hip hop. Like you have voice that's present. People know who you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, it's the end of 2021.
Yes.
So basically, this is just gonna be a video where him and I will be talking about basically what has happened in the music industry.
Yes.
Until
the little that has happened.
The little,
yes.
The little that has happened within the Namibian music industry, especially when it comes to hip hop, because that's usually what we cover. That's where our heart is. And so before we go into that, basically, what were the highlights? I should stop saying basically now. It's like
highlights.
Yeah.
Yo.
For 2021.
Yo, there's so few, bro.
Whether it's personal or
personal highlights.
Personal and also just outside yourself.
Personal highlights. I think I'll keep them to myself.
Cool.
Yes, but there were personal highlights. I think a lot of them.
No.
But they are personal. Yeah. With music, I think this has been a quiet year, so I'm trying to dig through my mind to think about something that was really stood out. I think one of them would be just some guys that are continuing to make music. Some guys that I see on We Are Hip Hop. They sometimes they think that we don't listen to their music. Maybe if you can get maybe 10 views, I might be one of them. Which is a really sad thing, because a lot of these guys are very talented. I think a highlight for this year would be just the people that continue to do the music that they love, and not because the numbers are now stopped, therefore I won't make music anymore. Or even though there's the Rona, I still continue to make music. And
because definitely I do think without the Namas, I think there's now less motivation to be doing music, because the Namas was one of those things where it's it's a one-hit thing. You do that, you submit your song, you win an award, you get your money, right? And also your price goes up as an artist. You are known in the entire country. On that night, people know who you are because you're the one who won this award. So I think that removing the aspect of being paid, removing the aspect of exposure, has now made the artists, also the notoriety of this is the guy who won the NAMA this year, made, I think, rappers less motivated, or even artists in general, less motivated to make music.
And I think artists are just also trying to figure out, I think this was the worst time to remove the numbers for artists, especially because the Rona hit, shows were stopped, artists, Namibians don't have a great track record of buying music. Streams are there. I've seen streams of music, music videos. We're having more million view music videos. But I don't know how that translates into artists making money, and it's mostly just the top guys that make, and it's mostly outside of hip hop where people make so much streams. I think even our top guys in hip hop don't really crack 200,000 anymore.
Hey dude,
they used to. I saw one or two there, but I think, but that was long time ago. But
because I was checking this year, I think for Namibia, for rappers to crack the 100,000, it has to be there for at least 2 years. So but now it seems that the norm is maybe if you're big enough, you could hit 50,000. Right, but on the regular, 10 is where if your music video reaches 10,
it's success.
It's successful.
It's really successful.
But you find guys you want to get that.
A few moments later.
Proper. Like I was saying, I think musically people are not making money anymore.
I don't think they were ever making money.
It was better.
It was better, Before it was better. They're not making as much.
Yeah.
Right now they're not making as much as they used to be. They used to make.
and even with people, like even with producers, you see these days. Like I remember back in the day, I think around from 2009, if I'm not mistaken, to 2013, even though somewhere there.
Yeah.
You always heard rumors of like, oh, this top producer charges $1,000 for recording. These days, you find top producers charging like $300. It's like,
bro,
yo,
like
it's like, yo,
I was actually
stuff.
shocked when I came onto a studio of like a big producer. I don't want to mention his name, and I looked at the price and I'm like, yo, this is how much you're charging. And then I overheard him like on a conversation where it's like saying that I can't be charging for beats the same thing I was charging like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So like at this moment, like even producers are starting to feel it. But I think one of the issues is that the market is really oversaturated, and the talented guys, the guys who could sell, are no longer as motivated to make music because it feels like I got all this talent, but there's so many people making music that they're almost sucking up the oxygen in the room.
Yeah.
So there's not enough for everybody.
But I think it's also a thing of like, in Namibia mostly, and I don't want to diss my country. Like, I love my country a lot, but in Namibia we have this thing of one person has to find an avenue or a path to making money, and that thing has to be tested throughout the years. And once we get that, then we stick by it.
Yeah.
We are not really great at innovating when things fall apart. Like
as
numbers fell apart,
Yeah.
but we're like, okay, the only way we could like consistently make money was through the numbers.
Yeah.
Which is basically the same thing that happens when when your degree doesn't work out, right? And then you're like, oh, I have a degree but I don't have a job, right?
Yeah.
And then that's where it stops. Like then you're like, and most of the times, the I don't know how to put it, but the thing that we always fall back onto is like, oh, the government. And I've seen that also with when the Namas and NESCOM was having issues as well.
Yeah.
I think they closed down NESCOM.
NESCOM, I don't know because there's rumors they closed down and then sometimes they didn't. So I don't even know where NESCOM is here.
Yeah, but other than that, the highlights I would say is like the guys and the ladies that continue to make music, regardless of whether you got like 2 views, 5 views, that's a highlight, especially in this, because it shows that you really want to do music. And I'm not saying you should do music in this year. You should have done music to be considered as an artist, but the people that continue to do it,
I mean, I think that there are a few names that I think have been quite consistent in putting out stuff and have been doing well. I think this year, Lioness, I would say, was probably the top rapper this year.
Okay.
Because she's been consistent. She's been putting out music videos, and it's just great to see, her just taking the lead of like, okay. Yeah. And I think I don't think she even took the lead in a sense of like, I'm doing this for hip hop, let me keep doing this. But it's like, yo, I'm going to keep my momentum going this year. So I think out of all the rappers that I have, observed, I think she's the one who has pretty much been not only consistent, but also making it big, if that makes sense. Yeah. Consistently making it big.
Consistently.
Yeah. Franklin has been ridiculous consistent.
Franklin has been, I think, the most consistent.
Yeah, he's the
like
most
in terms
consistent.
Of taking out music.
Yeah.
Like consistency.
Because I think the difference between Franklin and Lioness is that Lioness is big mainstream.
Yeah.
She's big and consistent on a mainstream level, but Franklin is consistent overall.
Yeah.
Right. Although his music is not really hitting the same numbers that her music is hitting. He's really putting out almost like every week.
Yeah.
Franklin is dropping visuals and his 16s and
I think Franklin is. I think that's something that he has always been doing, like for the past decade or so.
Yeah.
Like it is music, radio, whatever it is. I think he's one of those people that, like, if aliens invaded Namibia and they're like, give us your most consistent artist. Right. Like, he's, I think he's one of those guys. Like, I've really seen him being consistent.
Yeah.
And it's not just consistency of just consistent for the sake of being consistent, but it's like consistent, and the guy brings bars and he's grown in his music. Like every time, sometimes you even get like overwhelmed. You're like, oh my goodness, this is so much. I've seen one guy like on the international scene, what do you call them? Indie artists.
Yeah.
His name is well known, Ras.
Yeah.
That guy drops a song every Friday. Every Friday. And I'm like, yo, that's the level of consistency.
Yeah, bro.
It's like, how do you do it? But it's like, he loves it. What else can you say?
Yeah, I think that is, I think Franklin's an example of somebody who is talented, loves music, and doesn't really want the mainstream attention.
Yeah.
So regardless whether the song is good or bad, or whether it's appreciated by people or not, that does not.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That's not what motivates him.
Yeah.
Because I'm one of those guys. If I put out a song and doesn't perform well, I'm like, must I even continue rapping, type of thing. But Franklin's and other type of breed where it's just like, yo, this is the music here, guys. Listen if you like it. If you don't, I'll drop something else next week.
And I think it pays off because, like, seeing the Namibian audience is all about familiarity. Like, if they are familiar with you or your music or your face or your name, right, then you start to bring, like, when you drop something important, then they show up for you, right? But if you're just like quiet for a very long time and you drop something important, they're like, we don't know you.
Yeah. Fix it, mic, real quick.
More moments later.
All right. Let me see. Another artist, which this is a guy who I haven't really been listening to his music, but I have been seeing his face pop up here and there, which is Rhoda. This is the guy who won The Search, and did he get signed? I'm not sure.
Rhoda.
Yeah. So Rhoda won. The Search, which was like kind of like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
What's the COVID? So, I don't want to disrespect the guy.
But yeah. So Rhoda.
But he won.
Yeah, he won.
Wow.
I think he won because he's a very good rapper, and he was rapping a lot in Afrikaans. And I was not watching The Search, to be honest. As soon as Abdallah and Covert Ether got knocked out, I was like, yeah, I'm not watching this anymore.
Wait.
There's Covert Ether.
There's Covert Ether, and there's Rhoda.
And then there's Rhoda.
Okay, I thought it was the same guy. Sorry.
Yeah, no, those are two different guys.
Okay.
So yeah, Rhoda has been dropping some music, and his music seems to be performing very well. Like all of his songs that I've seen have over 10K, 10K views.
Yeah, the guy had exposure.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're on a show, and I think
NBC nonetheless. Was it NBC?
I think it was on NBC, but also on the internet. I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest. But I think it's one of those guys that was given a huge platform and they didn't waste it.
Yeah.
Because we've seen people be on a platform like the rap battle, and then they would win the rap battle and their careers didn't go anywhere.
Because they don't put out music after
They don't
that.
put out, yeah. There are some people who won the rap battle and they use that momentum to keep building and stuff. So I think Rhoda definitely did the most with from that. I'm really hoping that Rhoda is the guy who won The Search, because if it's not, then I got my information. Yeah,
I'm really disappointed in myself for not knowing that guy.
Yeah,
I need to go and check him up.
Yeah. What else? I'm trying to think. Man, I'm a little skeptical of using this guy, but let me mention him later. I Am Rescued, probably the most unappreciated artist in the country.
But probably the most appreciated internationally.
I think I Am Rescued is the most streamed artist in Namibia.
Are you speaking from data or just like?
I'm speaking from the numbers that I've seen.
More than Gaza?
I think so. Because here's the thing, right?
I don't think so.
Because here's the thing. I remember checking the numbers. It was a while back, sometime this year.
More streamed where exactly?
Or like on Spotify?
Monthly listeners or?
Monthly listeners. He had more monthly listeners than Gaza.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, like I think Gaza at that time, but that's before Gaza. Remember, he dropped all of his discography.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was before that or around that time, just when he dropped it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he had more monthly listeners, and also when he released his streaming numbers. His streaming numbers, I think, either in the millions or in the 10 millions. One of those.
That's impressive.
That is impressive. And the thing is, like, most of his listeners, I don't think most of the listeners are from Namibia.
Is it like how? What is it? Is that from Spotify or from
Only from Spotify.
Only from Spotify.
So that does not include Deezer, Apple Music, and all the other platforms. And yo, guys, it's one of the things where almost like I have a love-hate relationship with this guy because it's like, yo, dude, you're so talented, but people don't know you in your own country. But people in your own country also look at them, it's like, but why don't you know this guy?
Yeah.
Also, so yeah.
I think he has found a market, you know. Like, I think that's what Namibian artists, like some of them, should consider because maybe make music for people in Zambia, you know.
and it's kind of crazy because the one thing we don't know, Namibia don't have the population to support just an artist.
Yeah.
Or to support every artist. So the thing is, you either need to have a very unique style that is unique to Namibia, that's appealing outside, or you need to be doing what's being done outside, but so well that people can't tell where you're from.
Where you're from. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it. But I think it's not only Namibia, especially with hip hop. I've been seeing that even SA is struggling with hip hop.
Really?
Days. Yeah. SA hip hop is also struggling. Like it used to. There was a time where it was like where it peaked, where SA rappers were saying stuff like they don't need to go international era to. I mean, there are guys that get the money. Like the Caspers and the AKAs. Yeah. But I think that's because of their longevity. Like I think the way you view the health of a system is the way how the rookies are doing as opposed to how the top guys are doing. Like if the rookies are getting the numbers up, then obviously the top guys should be having bigger numbers.
True.
But if it's like barrier to entry is like hard, like getting to like 100K views is difficult for an average artist. Then I mean, it's like, definitely numbers.
Especially with SA, since there's such a huge population, if they are struggling to reach 100K, then it does kind of like show.
I think it's many factors that contributed to SA. I think it's the resurgence or like what do you say, the emergence of Amapiano. Especially that it's like takes away a lot.
Yo, speaking of Amapiano, Taylor J and Chinchilla. So, man, like, okay, so Taylor J, I think she did start off as a rapper. And I think now she switched to Amapiano. And they ended up on Tim Westwood on the Amapiano cypher. So UK, yeah. So, gotta say, first of all...
Wait, was that where you tagged me in? Was that her? Who was that?
No, that's somebody else.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one was a straight up, they made the Amapiano cypher type of thing. I think it was the first time ever being done on Tim Westwood. And these are the first Namibians to ever be on Tim Westwood. So that's a great accomplishment. Like, wow. Unfortunately, for me, I didn't think an Amapiano cypher for me was just,
It's like no offense to Amapiano people, it's great, like with the instrumentals and everything. But it's like it's not having a metal rock cypher, you know?
True, it's exactly that. Like Amapiano is not built for cypher. Cypher is a rap thing.
Yeah, it's like
it's like taking battle rap and trying to have a show surrounded around. It's like no, it's not the same thing, right? So like I said, it's a great accomplishment. I just think the idea of an Amapiano cypher was it didn't land very well.
No, but I think although I think if it didn't land for you or not, but I
maybe
think
other people.
Yeah, I think it's a testament to how popular the genre is.
Yeah. I think
like
that
if they are allowing something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
and hey, whether you like it or not, whether it was good or bad, it's innovative.
Yeah, it is. It is innovative.
Right.
But to see someone Namibian there, that's
I've
always wanted to see a Namibian rapper on Sways. I mean, Sway, you know, not to feel like validated because oh my goodness, Namibian artist is there, but just to be like, oh, this is one of our own doing it that side, and killing it, you know.
True. Two more artists that I think highlighted this year. Before we go into what you prepared for us. Emmanuel Rose. Now, personally, I don't know if Emmanuel Rose was really made it big because but he was really on my timeline like almost every day. There was a point where
The
I had to
rollout
unfriend
was
somebody.
good. The rollout of his music. I think what happened was they deleted all the music from LMPC,
Yeah.
from the internet, and then they started to start a buzz about like what happened to LMPC. And then people were starting to talk about it, like what happened to this guy. I can't find his music anymore. And then boom, he came with Emmanuel Rose. And
bro,
yeah,
like I legit did not know. It was just today when I found out that
Yeah.
LMPC is Emmanuel Rose, because I'm like, because I've never listened to Emmanuel Rose's music. Because the way that there's one person, I think it was Shazzy or something, who kept going on about, it's like LMPC, I don't know, Emmanuel Rose, the best artist, oh my gosh, you guys should listen to this guy, and posting his music everywhere. And I thought like, because it was my timeline, I started thinking that everybody's sharing, but it's only her who was sharing the stuff. So yeah, it seems like the guy had a good year.
yeah, I would say that.
In fact, and
I think he's one of those people that, like, you know this person if they put in front of a bigger audience, if they would blow up. It's one of those artists in Namibia that if people really paid attention to the guy, he would really blow up. I don't know why he's not as successful as some of the guys, because his music is like if you put on your executive ears, né? Like if you were a label exec, and then you had all the tools that you need, like you had connections with radio, you had connections with streaming sites and everything, and then you had a way to make this guy global. I think he's one of the guys in Namibia that you can be like, okay, this guy can probably sell a few copies.
You know, I think for me, I can honestly, the only reason why I don't listen to LMPC is because I don't think he has a very good personality. He's like, and maybe that's how other people feel.
That's
very subjective.
That's an ad homonym.
Yeah, it's very subjective. I just feel like he's just like, he doesn't seem like a nice guy. So I'm guessing like
greatness comes with a sprinkle of arrogance, you know.
I think like that does play a role in your success. If you're not a likable person, and you're in a genre like hip hop in Namibia, people are not they may be turned off to listening to you. But I probably have to check his numbers and see exactly how he's doing.
No, he's doing well. I think he's one of those guys that can retain a monthly audience.
Cool. Last artist, DA.
Is DA hip hop or
that's a very it's a conversation we need to have.
What makes a rapper a rapper?
What makes a rapper or a hip hop artist?
I mean, it's just rhythmic speaking.
Because the things like
that makes a rapper.
We could argue that Kwaito is a form of rap.
It is.
You see.
It is.
Right. So I think I'm giving him the pass now because he started off as a rapper. He still does a lot of rapping in his music, although the genre of music has changed.
Yeah.
So I think we definitely need to relook to have that whole conversation of what it is. But I do think that DA did have a good year.
I think DA was just behind Ethnics, the biggest artist in the country.
Really? That is like I don't listen to Ethnics. I don't know a single song, but I know that they are big.
Yes, they're huge.
Yeah.
I think in terms of, and I'm not talking about like bigger than Gaza in terms of like being big. I'm talking about like people that you constantly hear around, or maybe it's just my subjective, my circle kind of thing. But to me, it felt like he was everywhere, you know. Like
no, he was everywhere. There was a point where he had like a show every week. Like dude came at one point. He posted like, you know, when you post too many pictures on social media and then they're grouped. Like this is the main picture, and then like 4+. There was once he did that with all the shows that he had, like because he had back-to-back shows.
Consistent, bro.
So
consistency. I think now he's even getting props from different people as well.
Yeah.
So I would say, just behind Ethnics, the best.
Wow. All
right. I know Gaza dropped an album, but yes, DA.
All right. Let's quickly stop this camera so we can record the last bit.